Hi guys. I was talking to Jamie this morning and we are going to do another human design call tomorrow. And yeah, I was just expressing to her that I would love there to be more time for interaction and questions. And um, it's hard because the material can be so dense. And I felt like last time it was just a lot of me talking and not a lot of time for some back and forth. So we thought it might be good for me to make, hopefully, a brief, brevity is not my long suit, video, kind of going over a topic that might be interesting to talk about, so that you have a chance to watch this, kind of let the information wash over you a little bit, and then come tomorrow, with questions or thoughts or, anything that feels good to share. And we can certainly dive off this topic too, but just wanted to start here. So the topic Jamie actually brought forward to discuss was profile. So if I have sent you your human design or you're familiar or, several of you, I've had the good fortune to be able to sit and do some human design work with, about your profile. This is the numbers in your design. So if somebody asks me what my human design is, you might hear me say, I'm a 4-6 emotional generator. So the 4-6 is what we're going to be talking about. And in terms of what this is or what it means, I tend to think of this profile as it's kind of who's the character I came here to play on this game board of life. What energies do I bring forward? How do others view me? What are my sort of, how do I interact with the world around me? What are my gifts? What are the ways I kind of gather truth and know what's true, and how do I go about moving around on this game board of life, and accumulating all the things I came here to accumulate and learn. And so I'll leave it at that, and we can discuss more. But the way that I love to talk about profiles, so if you look up your design, you'll have two numbers. Like I said, mine are 4-6. There's a wide variety. Jamie's a 6-2. One thing that I've never officially been taught in my human design studies, but that I certainly see over and over and over again, is there does seem to be this quality of a shared line. Jamie and I share a 6 line. You might share any of the lines with people in your family or your friends. I feel there can be some familiarity in those people, right? There can be this sense of like, I know you. There's some shared language, some shared understanding of the way this person's, gears turn and kind of who they are and how they operate. And then people that we don't share any lines with, sometimes they can be like, oh, so interesting to me how that person works. And they may even feel like, gosh, that's just a whole different way of operating, not in a bad way, but often like in a way that is unfamiliar to you. So this can sometimes be challenging, but it can also be like really, really fun too. And certainly there are profile types that I don't share any lines with that are some of my favorite people on the planet. And so I'm just going to walk you through the numbers so you can just sort of hear what they are, feel them in yourself, and then we can talk about them tomorrow. And the way I love to describe these is using the analogy of the floors of a house. So there are 6 lines, and we're going to start at 1 and we're going to go to 6. So the first line of the house, so if you have a 1 in your profile, this is you. First lines are the foundation of the house, right? They are the very foundation of the house. And so 1s are very concerned with safety, security, sort of making sure that they have all their I's dotted and their T's crossed, that they have all the information, that they've gathered everything there is to know about something that they feel well prepared. There's a real, as you can imagine, foundational quality about this first line. So they often, like they need to feel like they have all the information. They are generally amazing students, amazing learners, amazing teachers. They have this just great ability to synthesize information and to have it be just so well versed and kind of know all the things. It's not uncommon for first lines to be like lifelong students in some way and just really like to have all that information. And there's a quality about them that's like, what's the information I can read in the book, like the sort of official, sort of intellectual information, if you will. Some hiccups for first lines can be feeling like they are never prepared enough, right? That they can never ever know enough or have enough information. And the irony, and it's this way with all of these profiles, is kind of like the thing you think you don't have is probably the thing you already have in spades. You're probably already the most well prepared person in any room. So it's like knowing you don't need to know more or learn more. You don't have to have the degree or the official certificate or the thing to go forward and share your brilliance. So that's the first line. We're going to travel up in the house. Now we're on the official first floor of the house for our second line. And so second lines, they are the naturals in this profile system. So second lines are often just very, very naturally gifted at a wide variety of things. So these people often are really, really good at a thing, multiple things, everything, without trying, without sort of any reason that they're good at it, right? They're just sort of naturally able to pick things up and have a natural gifts for things. The irony for this type is that often they don't perceive that as special or like they are naturally talented, because on the first floor, this is one of the profiles that has what's called a projection field. So if you're on the first floor of your house, right, and the curtains are drawn, right, and somebody's out on the street, they can see right into the first floor, right? They can see you really, really well. The second line often doesn't see themselves well. So somebody with a 2 in their profile often, we call them the natural and the hermit. So they often they kind of have that sense of like, I'm being looked at and I don't necessarily want to be. So 2s are naturally want to kind of be reclusive. They want to hide a little bit. They don't want anybody looking at them, like, don't look at me. And the funny thing is that people naturally want to look at the 2, right? They want to look at you. They want to see what you're up to. They want to know why you're so gifted at the thing that you're gifted at. And the 2 is often like, shut the blinds. I don't want anybody to see me. And there's some beauty in that tendency to want to hermit, right? The 2 really does need a lot of alone time. They need a lot of time to be by themselves, to replenish, specifically to replenish their physical body. Like, let me have my space, be alone, replenish my physical body. But they just as much need people to be able to see them. So they need people in their world that can see them and reflect that back to them, can say, wow, you are amazing at this. I see your gifts. I see your specialness, and I'm going to reflect it back to you because you can't see yourself very well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about the 2. I think I'll leave it there for now. Okay, next up is the 3, and the 3 is the spiral staircase that's headed upstairs. And the spiral staircase is really steep and it's kind of precarious. And so the 3 is They are walking through the world designed specifically to try and fail, to venture up that spiral staircase and fall down. They're meant to, yeah, have a lot of trial and error in their lives. They are on this game board of life showing us that that's how they're gaining their wisdom, right? Is trying and failing, touching the hot stove. Um, they are meant to have so many experiences in life, and every single failure is wisdom, is wisdom that they carry forward with them and share with the world, right? And yeah, they're meant to really just kind of experience life. So if the one gathers their information sort of intellectually, the three gathers their truth and their wisdom through actually like passing it through their physical experience, through trying it for themselves. And that, yeah, that, you know, if you have a 3 child, right, you would say like, get to making mistakes, make a lot, make as many as you can. And that is, that's your wisdom that you're going to carry forward into the world. So that's that spiral staircase. And the true three we're going to talk about, this is, if you have a 6 in your profile, I want you to be listening to this 3 really carefully, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But the 3 is they have a special quality about them that they're really resilient to, right? So the 3 in their truest essence is meant to touch the hot stove and like bounce back, right? To make the mistake, to fall down the stairs, and was it Consuelo in our last call, like that like bouncing off the stairs, like and bouncing right back up. That's the 3. Okay, so now we're moving up to we're cresting the top of the stairs here, and so we're at the 4th line. And the 4th line is the foundation of the 2nd floor. And the 2nd floor of this house is all about the interpersonal. It's all about our connection to others. And so the 4 is the foundation of that. And so 4s really, their sense of truth, their gift is the web of people that they keep and create. The quality of the 4's network, the quality of their people is the quality of their life. So for 4s, having those types of relationships, having a close network is so important. 4s need their people, like need them in a way that is, you know, both like, yes, like friendship and all of that, but also for the 4, that's where all of your opportunities, all of your anything good that's going to come to you is going to come through your network of people. So 4s often, they really know who is for and not for them. When they meet somebody, there's generally can be a sense of like, oh, this is one of my people, or this is not. And it doesn't mean also that they are, sometimes when you hear people talk about 4s, it's like, oh, they're such people, you know, they're extroverts, and that's not necessarily true at all. The 4 is not like, oh, I love everyone and I love being around people all the time. In fact, the 4 can be quite introverted, but they do know who is a person that belongs in their web, and those people will bring aligned opportunity to them. So, you know, 4th lines deal really well in people that they know and like and love. They're going to work best with those people. Their relationships, romantic relationships, so good if that person is a friend first, and sort of dealing with the known people in your life. 4s don't do as well with strangers, right? So they know who they want to work with, and it is really good for them to be in that network of people. And yeah, what else do I want to say about that? So it's like really natural for fours to be like, you know, if I need to make something happen, or I'm stuck, or I have a problem, it's like, who do I know? Who do I know that could help me with this? Likewise in business, to get your business from referrals, to know, gosh, if I'm going to work with someone, um, a friend sending me someone is probably the best way. Yeah, so that's the 4. And then we're up on truly on the second floor, right? This is our next projection field. So we had the fully on the first floor was the 2, the fully on the second floor is the 5. And this projection field, right? If you're the 2 on that first floor and the windows are wide open and everybody can see you perfectly, if you imagine up on the 5th floor, maybe the curtains are kind of drawn, and from the street up there, it's hard to see in to the second floor. And so the 5th line, their projection field is often that people can't see them very well. It's hard to get in and really truly see a 5. And often 5s feel like, yeah, that people can't necessarily totally see them for who they truly are. 5s also have, if a 4 doesn't necessarily automatically work well with strangers, the 5 really does. 5 is sort of sparkly and often has this like amazing personality. 5s are some of the funniest people I know, always, and just have this really magnetic quality to them. So people want to talk to the 5. They want to know the 5. Like, ooh, what's up with the 5? And because they're in that projection field, yeah, they don't always have a clear view. So a lot of times people are making up their version of the 5 in their head. 5s also really have this save the day quality. So it's true that like I always say, if I am, you know, stuck on a deserted island or lost out in the forest, or my car breaks down or any of that, who do I want with me? I want a 5 with me, because they can figure shit out, and they know how to save the day very often. And with that projection field, sometimes people will really create a version of this 5 that is the hero, that is the savior. And that projection field can go both ways, right? It can be blown up like you're so amazing and incredible. And then if it doesn't pan out, right, as projections often don't, when we have a sort of perceived idea of someone, then that projection field can go the other way, right? Yeah, you said this, you promised this, you were supposed to do this for me. It can really blow up. So for 5s, it's really, really important to have clear boundaries, to be really clear with people what you can and cannot do for them, especially if you're in some sort of like, I find a lot of 5s often are in professions where they are sort of set up for this. So to have clear boundaries about what you can and cannot do, and to have people in your life that don't need anything from you, and let you be like any different version of yourself, right? That haven't sort of put you in a box and say, this is who you are to me, and I'm going to keep you in this box. For 5s, it's really important to have people that, let you bust out of that. The 5 also, we also call the heretic. So 5s often kind of want to do things their way. I find a lot of 5s sort of in sort of traditional, like, there's like a traditional box of maybe a career they've chosen or something, and they'll be in that role but want to flip it on its head, right? Do it in a totally different way, or go against the rules, go against the norms, the societal norms. 5s, they kind of want to bust it up and do it not in the way that they've been told that they should do it. Okay, last one. I was trying to keep this under 20 minutes. We're close. Is the 6. So the 6, we've made it all the way up to the roof. So the 6 is the very top of the house. And 6s are sort of the wise ones, right? Often 6 Sixes are really old souls. They felt old since they were young, and they have that old soul quality about them. The really interesting thing about sixes is that they live their lives in 3 phases, and they actually live the first phase of their life as a 3. So if you listen to everything I said about a 3, right, that spiral, dangerous staircase that is meant to live a lot of life and make a lot of mistakes and get burned by the stove and sort of take that on as wisdom. The 6 lives the first portion, we want to like say estimate like, up until they're 30 years old as a 3. The difference for most 6s is while the 3 is really designed to be very resilient, and kind of bounce off it all a little bit, the 6 will often get really disillusioned by that life, by that trial and error, by the, by the hot stove. And so often 6s get to that sort of next phase of life, 30-ish, and have like a, whoa, like what has just happened to me? Like that was a lot of life. I'm sort of like beat up by it. And I need to, something needs to change, or I'm gonna, sort of withdraw a bit. And so in this second phase of life, 6s do something that we call going up on the roof. So for the 6, that's often like, I'm gonna withdraw, I'm gonna come up on the roof, which is often like a real sort of position of observation. The 6 kind of moves into observer role, and they are assimilating those first 30 years and turning it in to wisdom, but it's from this place of I'm kind of gonna pull back from life a little bit. And then they're going to approach their third phase of life. So we say this is somewhere around 50, and this is what we call coming off the roof. And so the exciting thing, if you have a 6 in your profile, is that you are really, really meant to hit your stride in this third phase of life. So 6s sometimes are late bloomers, are, kind of going through all of this. And then as they come off the roof, it kind of, right, it's, you've taken all that life, you've taken the time on the roof and really turned it in to the wise woman wisdom, and we get to come back into the tribe as wise woman. So I always joke that I'm kind of sliding down off the roof right now, and yeah, lots more to say about that. Jamie and I have had some great 6-line conversations too about how that can look. So yeah, those are the 6 profiles in this little analogy that I like to share. So I'm so excited to see you guys tomorrow, and yeah, I look forward to your insights and questions and observations about all of this. It's been so fun to obviously work with some of you, but just even know your designs, and then relate that to all the magic I see in the groups every week. So I hope this was helpful, and yeah, come with your questions and all your thoughts. Okay, big love. I'll see you tomorrow.